if there's no nature, then there's no natural law.
Okay.
If there's no natural law, there's no morality.
Okay.
If there's no morality, there's no such thing as right and wrong.
Okay.
Okay? If there's no such thing as right and wrong, you can do whatever you want. Right?
It would seem that way, yeah.
Yeah, well, that's great, isn't it?
Well, sure, that's freedom, isn't it?
That's freedom, right? So what's wrong with that?
Nothing. That's what 200 and some years of American history is.
That's what America's all about, doing what you want.
That's right.
Okay, now, let's assume that two people want the same thing. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get the same thing in this world where there's no nature, no natural law, no right and wrong, no morality? Two people want the same thing. That's absolutely right. The stronger is going to get it.
Or they're going to make a deal.
And so what you're saying here is if you can do whatever you want, the strong are going to be the people who get everything they want. The strong will rule, and force is going to be the only rule of action. If you're talking about the Middle Ages or you're talking about cavemen, physical strength was force. In a country like ours, in a capitalist country, money is force, and force is money. That's what we're talking about here.
And so revolution in America has always been then a way to tear down the moral order, to let the powerful rule while the weak think actually, it's good for them.
Right. In other words, you're told the way it goes is, okay, kids, there's no right and wrong. You can act on all your impulses. And we say, great, I'm free to do whatever I want. Okay?
That's right.
And so you go out and you act on your sexual desires, and all of a sudden you realize when you want to appeal to some type of adjudicator, if there's a conflict, you just kicked away the moral order. You destroyed it. That's the only thing that you can appeal to if you're not one of the 1% of the plutocrats that rule this country. You kicked it away because you wanted what you wanted.
So
okay?
You're not going to be heard in this society unless you're rich and powerful.
Well, they're going to say, well, what's this moral law? You just broke the moral law. You agreed to go along with sexual liberation. You got what you want. You got your birth control pills. You got your pornography. So just be happy with that because that's all you're going to get now, buddy. So don't ask for a raise. Don't ask for a raise. You have birth control pills. You have pornography. And you can say, well, wait a minute, this isn't just. And you say, well, if you're one of the plutocrats that rules the world, you say, well, what's justice? What do you mean justice?
Right.
There's no justice in this world. There's only force. And the proof of this is what you just did. Here we're rewarding people who do violence against nature. If you're saying there's no difference between sodomy and marriage, you're saying there's no nature, there's no morality. If there's no morality, you have no appeal. You have no court of appeal here. When they're grinding you into dust, when they're lowering your wages, what are you going to say? I need to support a family? Just wait for the burst of laughter that follows that. Ha, ha, ha. Who said you had a right to have a family? You have a right to be sexually liberated, not to have a family.